Joining me from London is writer, columnist and presenter Esther Krakue, who isn't scared of saying what she thinks. Esther, why do they have so much trouble dealing honestly with the trans lobby? What is so hard?
Well, the reality is they're not actually scared of necessarily offending 0.01% of the population. They're more scared about the political backlash and what that would do for the coalition that they're trying to get together if they want to get in power. The reality is, by effectively addressing this head on, they're pitting women that clearly know the difference between men and women and the logistical nightmare of having biological males in women's spaces. They have that group to contend with against the group of people that are mainly women that are also championing, the rights of trans individuals. And really, the reality is they're too scared to get caught between a rock and a hard place. You have people in the UK, for example, like Keir Starmer, the leader of the Labour Party, or Sir Ed Davey, who said a few months ago that a woman can quite clearly have a penis. I mean, what does that even mean, right? On the face of it, it's completely absurd. But the reality is they just don't want to ruin their chances of getting elected. But actually, by not taking a side, that's exactly what they're doing. At the end of the day, most people are not walking around concerned about how someone identifies or what they would like to be known as or anything like that. We're looking for clarity in law. And that's where really the difficulty lies, because people often conflate the idea of actually clarifying the law with being a bigot and not wanting people to self-ID and all of that. Most people don't care, right? Most people haven't even met a trans person. It's not about the individual. It's about the implications, the legal implications of this. And that's what people like Kelly J. Keane have been fighting against, fighting for, the actual recognition of women in law and being able to clarify that so that the various logistical nightmares that come with allowing people to identify as whatever they want don't actually impact women as severely.
Yeah, I'd also add another thing. If a politician can't even tell you honestly what's what in this space, then what else don't they dare tell you that's true? Esther, Julius Rubiales is the head of the Spanish Football Federation. He's refusing to quit for the way that he celebrated the Spanish women's team beating England, sorry about that, at the World Cup in Sydney a week ago. He carried one of the World Cup winning players on his shoulder. He forced a kiss on another one who said she didn't like it, and grabbed his crotch with the Spanish Queen and a young daughter a couple of metres away. But his football federation applauded him at an emergency session, like when he said, "I'm not going to quit." What does this tell you about Spain?
Tells you that Spain is at least more honest and blunt about the difficulties of navigating intersexual dynamics, particularly in the workplace. The reality is, when this situation happened with the kiss and the grabbing of the crotch area and all of that, people wrote it up, including myself, as just being a impassioned sort of celebration. We know that Spain is actually the kissing capital of the world. Southern Europeans tend to be more physically friendly with other people. They do the kiss and the hugs and all of that, which us Brits are very much not in favor of. We're a bit more prudish in our social interactions. And in the beginning, at the beginning of this whole debacle, the captain that he kissed said, "Oh, I did not like it," in an interview on Instagram. But then she came out with a statement saying, defending him and saying they have a close relationship. But now she's backtracked and said actually it was completely unacceptable. So really, on the one hand, we want to champion women and believe that women's voices should be heard and that we shouldn't be offended on behalf of women and that women are autonomous agents that can define their own destiny. But on the other hand, you have people outraged on her behalf. And because we're in this limbo of, did you like it? Did you not like it? Did you feel pressure to release that statement? Where do we stand? It's kind of created this ridiculous situation where he's saying, "I apologize if she didn't like it. I would like to move on," and all of that. And then they're saying actually he should resign. Now, I would like to highlight how extraordinary this is, because if this was anywhere else, if this was the UK or France or Australia or the US, he would have been forced to resign. He would have been fired, and they would have just written him off as some sort of sex offender. But the reality is he did this on national television in front of millions of people, and there really is kind of no ambiguity with this. And the fact that he's refusing to step down, I mean, it's very interesting, because I didn't think this would happen. I thought he would go quietly as we expect people in the West to do. But no, he's putting up a fight.
Yeah, I would say one thing about that statement. The player involved says, "Well, they just made up those words for me. It was his Football League PR department that said that. I didn't." And if she's right, and he did lie about that, that is something else again, but we shall see. It's amazing. The Prime Minister, Acting Prime Minister, wants him gone. Let's see how long he can last. Esther Krakue, always great to talk to you for saying things as you see it. I appreciate that a lot. Thank you so much.